Okay, I just want to show some screenshot photos here over time through different conditions that I have experienced using StarLink, from a nice clear day, as hopefully it will be today. It poured down rain. This is July the 2nd, and the last couple of days it's been pouring down rain. I've been out there doing Uber during the day just to get out and go check and see how the city that I was born and raised in has grown since the last time I was there. But I want to show over time how StarLink performs in different conditions that I have experienced personally. So let me get the photos here, share a screen. This is the server rack that I have here in the studio. StarLink sitting back in the corner back there. Let's see. That's the full size setup there. All right. As you can see, it says every 47 seconds I should expect interruption. And you see here and a little bit here. Now over time this changes, as if you listen to and watch my previous videos, I mentioned about the red here. Over time, if the dish is not relocated, it starts blocking these out, because it's like, well, it's just there, and we're going to work around it. And you'll see the results of that actually happening, as I've seen on videos on YouTube myself with other people talking about the same thing. And you see that right here, the uptime, it has a spike every now and then. That's when it hits the obstruction of them trees and stuff. But most of the time it's up and running. Then this breaks it, each one of these breaks it down of why the service may be getting interrupted. And the first one there is your, is obstructed press visibility, which that shows the dome, and you can see where it's actually getting interference from. Tells you that there's no satellites for 47 seconds out of them 12 hours. No signal received. It just breaks it down exactly why your service may be out. Now we are another day after another 12 hours, because this does not update as far as I have seen people talk about, and what I've seen personally. Like every 12 hours this actually updates. As you see now, we got 50 every 50 seconds. You can see it's still red over there on that side, but this is getting, as you can see, that it's getting less and less red, and some of it's actually getting blocked out to black. You can see some of it right here is getting blocked out. Right there, right there, right here. Slowly but surely it gets blacked out. And you see now this side is hardly anything. and it's solid black right here. This one's trying to get that way. As you can see, it's not as dark. And now you see that it's blacked out. This is the kind of speeds that I was getting with the dome in that condition, which if you watched in my previous videos, the downloads were somewhere between like 30 and 60. So over time, so far, the speeds is getting better. The pings sometimes gets up in the 40s, not all the time. Usually it's in the 30s. And now we have 54 seconds. You see more of this is getting blacked out over time. Now this time period from the first picture to the last is about 3.5 weeks of time, almost a month. Still haven't figured out why it's doing this up here. Now it has been raining, so it may be got water sitting up there and it just hadn't moved, and it's actually thinking it's something that's in the way. I don't know. Not going to climb the pole up, go up there and find out. But it's been raining on and off in this 3.5 weeks as well. So, and sometimes these screenshots are taken 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and dew and rain may not evaporated off of the dish yet. But the downloads is just phenomenal. Since it's been longer, it's been sitting there, it's just been getting better. As long as I can have 50 or more download, that I'm fine with it. It's the upload is what I'm really want to get up higher, because that's where we upload our videos. And now we're sitting at 52 seconds of interruption. And as you can see, this side is kind of just fading away slowly. The other side is too, but it's taking more time, seems, to get the major side actually to be discarded and not used. And I don't know if it's going to black it out completely or not, but it's going in that direction. All right, let's see. Whoop. Yeah, that's just a little bit closer, up close in the server rack itself, which I've had problems with this bad boy service right here. In the last, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Boy, did I have an issue. Watch my, you'll see me talking about this on a Sunday show, and I'll talk about that. It's just their customer service is almost like, might as well be non-existing. Did get a hold of a good one customer. One rep up there that knew what she was talking about and resolved the issue. And after I put StarLink in there, I noticed when I opened up the door, it kind of felt a little warm in there. So this has been coming on and off a little bit more often. Turning that fan on. All right, now this is the area that I'm actually in. This is where the dish that I have is located. And as you can see right here, what it says, expanding in 2023. We're in 2022, I do believe. So far as they're concerned, I'm not even in the service area yet. But I'm getting service. Here I am right here. This, as you can see, the color coding right here, dark blue on the wait list. And that's where I'm at right here. I'm on the waiting list. Being on the waiting list and still got internet, that's doing pretty good. And see, this started to worry me when I started seeing this. The ping came down. The download stayed real well, but the upload started kind of crapping out. 4s and 6s and 3s and sometimes 2. And even this is when I started having problems with the router doing load balancing. I've noticed that download, it works great, but it does not always put you on the best for upload. Because this here is the upload speed of StarLink that I have. And it sent me through that one instead of StarLink. Now, I know this is StarLink because StarLink, the maximum down is 10. And I know I can get that because I got everything else on that in the studio, the smart lights and whatnot. So the load balancing seems to be more concentrated on download than upload. So I had to rewire the server rack so the studio will be on nothing but StarLink 100%. It gets its internet before it goes through the router to be load balancing. So everything else is in the studio needs nothing but download it. It don't do no uploading. So that's not going to affect any of them items. But here in the studio, I need to upload to be on StarLink 100% of the time. So I had to rewire that. And after I did that, I noticed a big difference of the upload started to be a lot better. Here we are with 52 seconds. And you still see this over here towards this side, the west side, it's getting less and less. Now, I don't know if it's going to go completely out, black out, but I do believe it probably will. At least the experience that I've had so far on this, it's showing that it's getting less and less. And this is a speed test I did on my phone with the Wi-Fi on the 5G of the StarLink. And I love that upload. After I rewired it and put everything that works in the studio, the laptop, cell phone, the streaming and main computer and all, I started getting better uploads. And they were pretty consistent of being high. Every now and then I get a low one. It just happened that I test the speed when it's getting behind the trees. And here, instead of like 45 seconds, 50 seconds, 57 seconds, 47 seconds, it's starting to get longer spans before I have interruptions. The interruptions are getting further and further apart. Now it's up to a minute between. So that's telling me that it's blacking out and not using all the areas that's obstructed. It's ignoring some of it, so it's actually not using it. So it gives me more uptime. As you can see, it's blacking out. This all used to be all like red dots all up in here. So it's going that direction. And you can see that this is doing the same thing, starting to black out. Really dark blackout, kind of light, but light one here. So it's trying to just darken that out and just not use it. That's the only thing I can think of, because the more it does that, better my speeds are, and this time gets longer and longer. It means it's very far between the interruptions that I get. And as you can see here, the dish is still on the 20-foot tower that I have and hadn't been moved. And you see this is just kind of withering away over here. Very little, just a couple dots. And this here, you can see it's getting blacked out as well. And this is the new update of the StarLink app where you could test your speeds. It used to show 3 little circles, one from the satellite to the router and router to your device, phone. Now this screen pops up first. It's just a download and upload and your ping. Then you can open this up down here and it gives you that old screen back that shows all 3 of the devices, the satellite, the router in the middle, and your device. And it tests the speed between satellite to router, router to your device, and from the satellite to your device. But they just put this up here. It comes up first, which is kind of nice. All I want to see usually is just flat out what's up and down. That's it. So I don't have to go onto a website or anything. This is in the middle of a storm. I mean, they say it's raining cats and dogs. No, it was raining cats and dogs, donkeys and horses and some cows in there. I mean, it was bad. I mean, when it lightened, the lights flickered. And I do believe the power went out a few times because I heard my battery backups click, indicating that it lost power. Now, I do have StarLink actually on the backup, so it never missed a beat. It kept going. But this is the speeds I was getting in the middle of that storm. 22 down, 10 up. Now, the ping went higher because it's trying to get through all that storm to get to the satellite. But through a storm, and I'm still getting 10 and 22, it was very usable. I mean, I was watching 720 quality videos on YouTube. I was actually doing some uploads just to see what it would do. And it was working great. Even through a storm, it's working. And this is a little bit later in the storm. As you see, this is me right in the middle of the storm in the red. Then I waited maybe 15, 20 minutes later and took another screen and do another test after the storm kind of quietened down just a little bit. Still lightning, still raining, but nowhere near as bad. But you still see the ping kind of came down. Still download and upload is very usable. So even through a storm, it was holding up. This is the ping while I was in the storm. And I know when I started using StarLink, it would have like 3 or 4 timeouts up here, and then roughly about right here would have another 2, then down here number 3, and down here would have another 2, all on one screen. Now it usually shows 1, 2, maybe 3 timeouts on a full screen. So it's just getting better and better over time. And this is when I was having the heating and air hangouts on on a Saturday night, which I do that on Saturday nights on my heating and air channel. And this is kind of speeds I was getting while I was actually having the hangout. And this is a couple days after, I think it's like Monday or Tuesday of a week, and you see that very little over here. And it's gone back down to 49. And I don't, only thing I can think of is the satellites are not quite there. They moved, you know, it's just not in the same location rotating. Maybe they launched more, and I don't know. Because this is not obstructed any more than it was, but it dropped back down to 49 seconds. Why, I don't know. Because you can see that it's what's on that side, and it's very little still that side. But I did notice that this is not all blacked out, because there was some blacked out spots up here, but now it's not. Why it went back, don't know. It might be that the trees, you know, after that storm, it might have knocked out some tree limbs over. I haven't looked. I have no idea, because there is kind of open spots in here now, a little more. And you see this side is basically just fading away. It's still sitting at 49 seconds. But them 49 seconds of the interruptions, it don't last but maybe a second or two. If you're watching videos, you don't see it, because the amount of buffer you have of the data that's sitting in your memory, you don't use it all up before it actually starts putting more in it, so it don't miss a beat. It's like, as you can see, that it drops out here and it goes right back up, and it drops down a little, maybe a couple seconds. But out of 12 hours, it's only 36 minutes that it loses that connection. It's very little. Back up to 54 seconds. Some more tests. As you can see, the upload is staying nicely. And it's just getting better. As you saw, that the upload was good, but the download was good. The upload was kind of weak. But over time, they started kind of both going up and getting good speeds. Here is one that I had to screenshot. If I get this all the time, or even close to this, that'd be great. 33 ping, only 11 jitter, with 161 download and 42.6 up. I'll take that all day long. 46 would be great. That shows that upload can get up there and actually do some serious uploading. And then for an hour or two, the upload kind of went back down. But you see the download stays, and the ping stays down low. And now you see every 2 minutes. So it's just getting better and better. between the times it has going to be interrupted, it's just getting further and further apart. As you can see, this over here is just about non-existing anymore. And this is starting to do the same thing, starting to black out. And as it's doing that, as you can see, this is getting further and further apart. So it's just getting, it's correcting itself. It says, I can't use that area, so I'm just going to block it out and not even consider using it at all and just give better service. As you can see there where it's blacking it out. There was a real good download. That's all the photos. And as you can see, over time, as long as the dish does not get moved, you find the best spot you can put it. And leave it in that spot and let it do its job of correcting the obstructing areas, trees, buildings, whatever is in your way. It corrects itself. It starts blocking out bad spots and just gets better over time. I mean, spiking up to 220 something, and I'm not even in the service area and getting 40 something upload. And it's getting that good now, and by their map, as I showed you, I'm not even in their service area. What is going to happen when I do get in their service area? How good is it going to get then? Or are they going to have speed caps, as I showed you in some of my previous videos, where the business StarLink system supposed to be 150 to 500. So are they going to let the residential get anything over 150? How far are they going to let people get into past 150? Because would it make sense to have two services, and somebody paying $500 a month is getting 150 to 500, and somebody that's only paying $110 a month be able to get half of the speeds, up in the half of the speeds that you're getting for paying 500? I don't know. But over time will tell. But I'm happy with the speeds that I'm getting, and I'm very happy how it's correcting itself with the little errors that its environment that it's in, and it actually adapts to it to give better service. And matter of fact, I'm going to open up a browser right now and see if it's going to be good or is it going to be bad of a speed test, and just see. And the IPs, for some reason, keeps changing, and usually you don't get a different IP unless you power cycle a modem or whatever. But it hasn't, because it's on battery backup, and it just keeps changing. And we're doing like 64 down, 62. It actually came up 63.22. And the upload, and my son's in there, and since it's low balancing, he's getting a little bit of the StarLink itself, and I'm getting like 7 up. Let me use a different one. Let me see. Let me put this over here. Let's see here. That's what I got right there. 63 and 7. Let's try a different one. I'll show you this one while I do it here. Let's see. Boom. Let's do this. Let's see what this does. Good ping, good jitter. There we are. Let's see what the upload is going to be. And my son in there, he's on the game, but he's also streaming it live to his YouTube channel. So he's using some of the upload as well. And let's do it again. Let's see what we get. I like to do it 3 times and just to see, because I don't know exactly where the satellites are. Is it behind the trees or good line or not? So I'm gonna see what 3 times will do. And I have a feeling it's at the trees right now because it's killing that download. If I had a ping going, I would know, because it would probably say timeout. Do it one more time. Wait just a few seconds and see if it's the trees, because if it is, if I wait, it'll get away from them trees and it will spike back up again. And the ping is up to 58, so most likely it was the trees. Let's see. I don't know how fast it or how long it takes to get the satellites out of the trees or not, but I'm going to go ahead and try again. Ping is down. There we go. When it gets behind them trees, it just kills it. But when it's not behind the trees, it just runs. But when you're watching video, you don't see it. It does not degrade the quality of the video. It just works. But yes, I am very, very satisfied with the service. It's just getting better and better over time. It's making it easier to upload these videos. When I started, it was not able to even stream live. It didn't matter what software I used. I even used mainly OBS. And I set it down to use 1 megabit per second up and down. And just see what it would do watching videos. And then I opened the pipe and let it just give everything. And what I like about OBS is it has a little monitor that's in real time that shows the quality of the megabits per second that it's using to stream, which is the upload. And it would be red, yellow, or green, and it shows you how many megabits per second it's actually using. And I've noticed that, and I got it set on 2.5 megabits per second upload in the software of OBS to use, which is more than enough for 720. And I've noticed it stays in the green longer. Every now and then it'll hit yellow. Very rare it hits red. Now I can tell when it's behind the trees because sometimes it'll be green, yellow, red, yellow, green. I mean, it'll drop down there to 100. Almost zeroes out almost. But I've noticed it stays to what I got it set on longer now. But it does not cut off the video when I stream live. I've played the live streams back after I was done, and it didn't freeze. So it's not stopping the stream at all. Now, is it going to stay that way? I don't know, but I do believe it will, because as you saw the screenshots, that it's just getting better over time. Where the trees are in the way, it's starting to block it out and not using that, and you see the speeds or being more consistent of high speeds, and the ping is staying in the 20s and 30s. We got a little bit higher, you know, in the 40s and some 50s, but that's when the storm was coming by. But when it's opened up, it works great. So is it worth $110 a month? To me, yes, since that's the only option I really have to be able to get out here, compared to CenturyLink 10 down and 0.7 up whenever they do have it on. As I mentioned, I had issues with CenturyLink. If CenturyLink was the only service I had, I would be out of internet for 3 days. Now, I kept talking to them and told them that I want credit for, you know, misinformation that they gave me and made me sit home for a whole day. And I'll explain that in the live broadcast on a Sunday. And it's probably, you probably already seen it if you're watching my channel. That's probably already been done by the time I upload this video, because this is July the 2nd. This is going up on like the 11th. And I've probably already done a live show talking about that. But I tell you, their customer service, no. And that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where to get them people that work for them to sit in them chat rooms on their websites. I just don't understand why they even let them work, because they're not taking care of any customers. But that's all for another video. But thank you for coming by. And if you have not already done so, please consider